Coleman makes a seat cover for an ATV. You can pick these up at Walmart for about $15, and I was told that this is supposed to be the cat's ass, at least in my price range. So, like I said, for about $15, I wanted the sheepskin one, but I live in Louisiana, and $100 is about okay for me to spend on the seat cover, but I just don't see how thick wool is going to keep me cool in the summertime. I understand the winter, and I have no doubt that they're comfortable, but in the summertime, it's probably going to be a real pain. So somebody suggested try one of these out, and this is what I got so far. I took the side covers off in the seat, and there's my bag unsnapped. I know I'm going to have to cut a hole right here to poke up the strap to the bottom, because it sits real low. But it's pretty simple. You just buy it, you unroll it, and roll it over your seat. And it has these clips here and here. There's 3 of them with these bands, and I just put them in a position where I know they're not going to get tangled up on anything. So what I did was lace these through the bike. The one holding on to each of the bars here. There's the third, the second, and third is going way back here. Hopefully they'll clip right on and put the seat down. Alright, so here we go. It's on. Haven't put the plastics on yet, but here's my little clip for my tank bag. That works. Doesn't look too bad. I wish it came down a little bit lower here to hide all the red, but that's alright. Alright, so where we left off is we were needing to cut some holes out of plastic for here, this clip, and that clip. As you can see, I took a Sharpie and marked off the sections I'm going to cut, and when we get done, it should look something like this. Cut that end, well, more like extension cut, and that was the original cutout for my tank bag strap. And as you can see, fits up under there. A-okay. Of course, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I did test fit it. It looked great. And then, so I got to do that to the other side, and we should be done. Well, here's what it looks like so far. This on the left side of the motorcycle if you're sitting on it, the airbox side. And if anybody has seen me work on my bike, they know that this plastic panel is I hate it. It's the worst design I think Honda's ever made. These little speed on and off deals. You can take them off real easy, but getting them on is just a pain in the ass. I cannot do it very well. I struggle and struggle and struggle. I mean, I can line up a chain and an axle a lot quicker than I can put this side panel on. So, if you could tell from the video, it's gotten a lot darker. If anyone has any tips or suggestions on getting these things on better than the way I'm doing it, feel free to comment. But I've thought many a times of replacing those with nuts and bolts on the back side, just welding them onto the frame or something. What a pain. What? So, originally I thought I was just going to cut these off short, leave them hang, but they're so easy to loosen and tighten. They're cheap clips, So what we're going to do is fold them back over here. I'll show you. Now, I used to be a whitewater rafting guide, and you end up dealing with this webbing constantly, and to make your own straps and stuff. So you learn how to sew it and how to cut it. And one thing that I found was that if you cut the webbing, if you're not going to sew it, that is, the two things you do is you always cut it at an angle, and right after you cut it, you always melt it. Because if you don't, this starts to fray, and you're just going to have to cut off the next chunk. So this one's kind of long, but that's alright. If I ever want to take this off, I want all the excess I can get, just so it's easier to get it in and out. So what we're going to do is go to the top loop up here and double it back. Just loosened it. I'll grab that, stick it under the seat at the same time. It's kind of tight up in there, but try to lay it as flat as you can. And all I gotta do is this next one here. That should be it. Thing I don't really like is, here's the band for the rear. It's pretty high up there, or pretty low. I don't think my bike will bottom out that much to actually catch it, but it is an issue to think about when you're buying one of these seat covers. You got to remember this is a KL or XR650L. So somebody with more aggressive suspension doing big jumps and everything, that will probably be a big problem. And not all bikes are the same. So I do have gussets that I welded to the subframe back here to support the extra weight of the bags and whatever else, just a precautionary measure. So if these weren't here, I could, here's the original right here, I could put it in through there and it'll give me more room upwards, but Oh well.